What's going on, guys? Ken Clark here. And in this video, we're going to be going over how to generate more jobs, more projects, more contracts using automated educational follow-up. All right. So specifically, we're going to be going over the follow-up SOP that we use across the country from Boston all the way to LA on how we convert leads into booked estimates and then eventually signed contracts. All right. So if you're currently doing manual follow-up, either A, you're tired of being ghosted or leads not responding to you, which eventually, makes your marketing unprofitable, which means you probably have to turn it off. Or B, you're just tired of the manual input that's needed to do manual follow-up and you're looking to automate that process. So if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to be giving over this document away for free. And so what it'll go over is, why you need educational automated follow-up, how to set it up with a software, and then also the exact scripts and templates of what to actually send in these texts and emails and make it sound personalized to where leads come in, you can actually engage with them and book them for an estimate and also qualify them as well. All right. And so getting started, marketing and advertising campaigns are really just one piece of the puzzle. And if you don't want to be ghosted or be spending all day being left on voicemail, the key is in the follow-up and nurturing process. And in my last videos, just as we mentioned that speed plays a significant role in your offer, speed to design, speed to completion of the project being the least hassle in the client's life during the job. Speed to lead means that the sale and contract goes to the vendor that responds the quickest. Now, a little background on that. The good thing is all the leads that we're generating are all exclusive. They're not being shared with anybody. They're coming in from either Google My Business, Google Ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, you name it. So we're not doing this on Angie or Home Advisor, which means we're not competing for these leads. Now, that doesn't mean we can just relax on the follow-up, because while these leads already know who you are, they opted into your form, they saw your project photos, they saw your reviews, they're already a little pre-warmed up to your process. They're not exactly a warm referral as you'd get. So especially with today's low attention span, it really means we need to engage and follow up with that lead within 5 minutes, because the last thing we want is to call or text them 2 days later. And then the lead says, oh, I don't remember signing up for that. And that pretty much just means we've lost the lead. So going over some studies on really, I want to stress why you need automated educational follow-up. 75% of the sales go to the vendor that responds first. Following up within 5 minutes makes you 9 times more likely to engage with them. After 30 minutes, the probability drops by 80%. And that's just after 30 minutes, not even going over 2 days or 4 days. Those that attempted to reach leads within 1 hour were 7 times more likely to have a meaningful conversation with the decision maker. And only 37% of remodelers respond within the first hour. And another thing to take into account, you might be calling leads within 5 minutes, but the truth is that's just not enough, especially in today's age where trust is very low, especially in the contractor industry. And so 77% of Americans said that they won't pick up the phone from a number they don't recognize. All right, and I'm sure that's a lot of you yourself. So we know that calling is great, but it's just not enough. We also need to text them and also email. And so a sales hacker study also found that a prospect needs 8 touch points to book an appointment. All right, that's not even to sign a contract with you to even get like a build project. That's just to book an appointment. And one of my buddies who has a very large YouTube channel and he's actually grown a paid community, he found that all the paid members had to watch at least 5 videos of his YouTube channel just to click the subscribe button, not even pay him. All right, so that just goes to show you the importance of touch points and also follow-up. So really, if you followed all the steps in my previous trainings, you will find yourself in a place where you have more leads and inbound calls than you could ever possibly handle by yourself. And so now that I've shown you a couple of predictable ways to generate leads on autopilot, you need a way to actually convert these leads into in-home appointments. And so you can actually have meaningful conversations with the homeowner, all right, in their house, taking measurements, doing that site visit. And this is where you really need to learn and implement the skill of building hyper productive sales teams. All right. And really what I mean by hyper productive sales teams is building follow-up infrastructure, multiple touch points and multiple avenues where a lead can come in and they can get converted to a booked appointment, because we just went over how calling is not enough. and maybe not even a lead. Maybe a prospect doesn't become a lead. Well, multiple ways they can eventually become a lead. And so I've seen more people that I can count generate all the leads in the world just to either stay stagnant or lose it all. And this is because they failed to adapt the new skills and insights required to handle this many leads and opportunities, especially with today's low attention span, low trust society. And this actually happened to the very first remodeler I worked with. We were generating around 60 leads a month just from meta ads alone. So Facebook and Instagram. And the campaigns were amazing on paper. But the truth is our backend was completely screwed. Leads were left to rot. We continued to let this, the slippage from lead to appointment. And that's really just because we had an inefficient follow-up process. And in turn, leads were just sitting there. We were getting some contracts, but not as much as we really could have. And so this is kind of where I figured out that business is really all about just elevating constraints. And if you're lucky enough to find yourself in the position of availability being your constraint, the way to elevate this constraint is by one, leveraging AI and technology in our follow-up process, which I'm going to show you which software to use for that, and also the text scripts and templates on what to actually send. And then two, using leveraged labor. So that really means appointment setters, somebody other than yourself to call these leads, because texting and emailing is great, especially if you do it 8 times over, say, 25 days, they're likely going to respond and we're going to get an answer whether they're interested or they're not interested. But especially for that human touch, appointment setters are great to qualify and nurture the lead even further. So before I go into how to do this, this is the misconception around ads and marketing in general, whether it's on social media or it's on search engines. And before we go over, how to build a follow-up infrastructure for your business, we first need to understand what paid ads and marketing are not. All right. Paid ads are not just simply running like a basic 10% offer. They become a lead, you book them, that you do the site visit, and then you close a contract. That's just simply not profitable. All right. So if we look right here, this is what a lot of people expect it to be. They get a lead, they do a site visit, and they close a deal. Now, number one, this isn't very realistic. It can happen sometimes, but 90% of the time, this just isn't going to happen. And number two, this just isn't profitable. And this is where you see a lot of remodelers and GCs have to turn off their ads or marketing because they might be getting leads. It might be their marketing might be resonating with their target audience, but they're simply just not converting those leads. And in turn, it ends up being unprofitable. They have to turn it off and their lead flow stops. All right. And so this is how ads and marketing actually work. So you'll have some scenarios, which honestly will be great, where you'll have, they're coming from an ad, they see your landing page, they become a lead, you do a little qual or triage call, and then you do the site visit, and then you eventually close a contract. That's like best case scenario. But especially with today's competitive market, we have to prepare ourselves to do a lot more than this. So in order for your ads and your paid acquisition funnel to be profitable and convert as many leads into contracts, you need a funnel that has multiple conversion mechanisms paired with your marketing. So that's multiple ways a lead can come in and get turned into an appointment and then eventually a contract. The way to kind of think of it is sea turtles, they lay like thousands of eggs, all right, because they know some of them are just not going to make it, but they know that some of them will make it. And in turn, their bloodline will continue. Or you can also kind of think of it as just casting many nets. And so really, this is how ads and marketing actually work. So a prospect might see your ad, but they might not become a lead that day. Maybe they're just not ready to submit their contact information. And this is where retargeting campaigns come in. Now, there's also automated text and email follow-up. And this is really the bread and butter of your follow-up infrastructure. So if a lead opts into your ad and doesn't book an appointment, they should automatically be added into an autoresponder campaign via email and SMS marketing. And you can do this with softwares like Go High Level, Close.io. You can also do this with HubSpot, but honestly, Go High Level is going to be your best option. And so, for example, they should be put in a 30-day, we do 45-day now, but 30-day, 15 to 25 email sequence, trying to get them to not only book an appointment with you, but also educate them to value your experience and expertise over price. And this is really how you improve the quality of the leads. Not a lot of people talk about this. They say improve the quality just means adding more qualification questions. but you can actually improve the quality of your leads by educating them on why X competitor or Y competitor isn't qualified to do their project, and they should really just not trust anybody except for you. Obviously, you don't want to say it like that, but you can convey this in a basic customer awareness guide or a project guide, design guide, really anything you want to. Now, not only with emails, but they should also be sent multiple SMS messages within the first days of opting in. And so for our example, we send 10 SMS personalized texts and 15 emails within the first 30 days of a lead coming in. And of course, the great thing about with these softwares is it automatically takes them out or it just stops whenever they, one, respond, whether it's positive or negative, or two, they book an appointment. This might seem like a lot. It really might seem intense that we're sending this many messages and this many touch points, but it's absolutely needed to manufacture engaged leads. And also, if you like money, of course, you're going to need to do this. So Cole Gordon, the founder of Closers.io, spends about $500K per month on this exact paid ads funnel. And he says that 20 to 30% of the calls that came from his paid ads came from email and SMS marketing on the back end. All right, people come in, they see the ad, they become a lead, but they don't immediately book. They get converted later with the email and SMS back end. And so not only should you have an autoresponder that lasts anywhere from 30 to 45 days of that lead coming in, hitting them with multiple texts, multiple touch points. But with ads, you're also paying for a real asset, and that's building an email list. So on top of the autoresponders that are just automatically going out, you can send at least 2 to 3 broadcast emails every week to everyone on your list. And these broadcast emails, typically they can be new trends, educational content, and then a few times you don't want to bombard them, but a few times you can put a real call to action in these emails to try to get them to book an estimate with you. And this will help build a further relationship, provide more social proof, and nurture everyone on the list, which ultimately leads to increased ad efficiency. Your ad campaigns will perform better because of this. And what Cole said is also pretty insightful. He said that the leads who originally opted into his ads and continued to read the broadcast emails, continued to be nurtured, looked at all the educational content, and the ones who booked a call months later after all of that actually had a significantly higher close rate due to being nurtured for months. All right, so that's the very first one, the very key bread and butter email and SMS marketing, probably the most essential one that you need to set up. And again, you can do this with Go High Level. Now, going on to number 2, we have appointment setters. So you've likely heard the term appointment setter before, yet most people still don't truly understand the role. Appointment setters are again, conversion mechanism designed to increase the efficiency of your marketing campaigns. And appointment setters can be used for really anything from social media ads, Google ads, search engine ads, Google My Business, or even like your website contact forms. And while the AI and autoresponder texts are great for following up and engaging leads, the best way to actually qualify and get the necessary info about the lead, such as their real timeline, the reason for that timeline, and also their budget. The best way to do that is actually calling them and getting that human touch. And if you want to know why our partners, for example, get such a good reply rate and more high quality leads while others fall short, it's because others are missing a key link. Some might be calling the leads themselves, or they might be using appointment setters, while some might have the email and SMS marketing go out, but they're just not calling them. Now, if we combine the two, that just increases the efficiency of the marketing as a whole. So you can do the appointment setting yourself, and perhaps you're already doing it. But if you want to get to 5 million per year and beyond, you need to be doing higher leverage activities and not be stuck making these calls yourself. Because number one, you become too busy. And number two is, if you want to make $5 million per year, you can't be stuck working on tasks that are anywhere from $5 per hour to $15 per hour. Because I'll show you, for example, we can source appointment setters from the Philippines, South America, or we can place a third-party American-based sales agent. And that's going to run you anywhere from $5 per hour to $15 per hour. And so again, if you want to get to 5 million per year and beyond, and you have budget that you can allocate, an appointment setting role is probably one of the best hires you can make, and can even make a terrible ad campaign profitable. Now, before you actually make an appointment setting hire, you want to make sure you have enough lead flow coming in, or enough curated opportunities where they're actually able to put in the work. And so we have number 3, and that's retargeting. So I'm sure you've heard of retargeting campaigns before, but they are essentially another conversion mechanism used to increase the overall profitability of your paid ads. And so you can easily set up an automation where everyone who shows interest, maybe they visit the website, maybe they like the Instagram, or maybe they like the Facebook page, but they don't become a lead, they get put into a retargeting campaign. And this campaign can be different. It can be more educational, or it can be a video to further warm them up. And this will also increase the effectiveness of all the other conversion mechanisms that we discussed, just like the appointment setters, email and SMS marketing. It will actually make all those more efficient, because not only is every lead getting those touch points through email, text, and the setter, but they're also seeing your retargeting ads every time they open up Facebook, Instagram, or even Google. And they're just getting that many more touch points where, it takes them 8 touch points to book an appointment. Well, within 10 days, we've already achieved that. And so this is, in conclusion, really, this is how you build hyper productive sales teams to feed you remodel contracts all year round without working more, doing any more manual input into your business. All right. And so just as a visual, this is how they actually work. They might be retargeted. Maybe they become a lead and the appointment setter books them. And so they can get them back to this funnel right here. Because the whole goal with all these mechanisms right here is just to get them back to that top funnel. Maybe they don't pick up the phone, so we have the text going out. Maybe they don't respond to the text, and so we have the email broadcast going out. Or maybe they are interested in the ad. They're like, oh yeah, I might put in my info, or I might be interested in that offer, but they want to do a little background check on your company. So they check out your organic content, make sure your stuff is actually up to date. And if it's not, maybe your last post was in 2017, they're probably going to be turned off by that. But if you've kept up with your organic content, constantly posting before and afters and videos and testimonials and public reviews, well then great, they're much more likely to become a lead. And just as I promised at the beginning of this video, if you want this exact Google Doc, this exact follow-up SOP, then you can find it in the description. What you'll see is obviously all this content right here, but you'll also get the step-by-step day 1, day 2, day 4, day 6, day 8, day 14, all of the scripts for the text and also email that you can just plug and play right into your follow-up sequences. So for example, we have text 1, hey, is this first name? Text 2, hope they have the right number. This is Cannon from Remodel Favor. I just saw you request an estimate for a possible kitchen remodel. Can you tell me more on what you'd like done? All right, and then we have email 1. And then, it just keeps going from here. So if you want the exact SOP scripts and templates that I showed in this video, then you can just find the SOP in the description below. So make sure to subscribe for all the future SOPs that I'm coming out with and all of the future videos. And I'll see you on the next one.